Hello everybody, my name is Super Chicken. I thought I would kick off this video with my deck list on the right hand side for everyone to have a look at just before I kick it off so that you know what I'm dealing with. And now that you've seen it, let's get straight into it. I'm not sure if that is the best way to start off the videos, but at least that way you get a sneak peek at exactly what I'm going to be running for this video. Was that smooth? I don't know. Obviously you can go back and freeze it on the frame if you want to see exactly what I'm going to be using for this video, but we'll see if that transition was smooth enough. So let me know if you like that or not. Sometimes people prefer the mystery, I don't know. We're going to be running the Hunter deck one more time. I am working on a couple of other decks, and I have gotten some feedback from you guys on Twitter and in the comments section below the videos as to what you want to see next. However, I haven't really got anything worth showing. I've got a couple of decks that sort of have 50-50 win rate, maybe even a little bit better, but I want to show you something brilliant, and I'm currently not there yet. So I thought I would just do another Hunter video, because I love it. Because we are playing a Warlock, there's a good chance he could be an aggro Warlock, so I'm actually going to keep the multi-shot. I would normally actually ditch it in this occasion, but I am going to keep it. Flare's actually pretty nice because, I mean, I do talk about it a lot. I like to use it in matchups that is not a mage. I like to use it just to draw another card, and that's really its only purpose. But it can actually reveal Blood Imps as well, and that actually is reasonably helpful. So we're going to ditch the Black Knight at this stage because he's just too big. Everything else we can keep, I feel like it'll be handy, and that is a pretty good top deck there. Good replacement, rather. The only thing that would make this better would just see the bow, or maybe a trap come out, and then we'll be looking pretty good. Look, if he's going to be playing Leper Gnome off the bat, I think he's going for a life total. That's all that says to me. So he's going to be trying to rush us down as much as we can. So I know I'm talking about Blood Imps here, but on turn 2, I'm probably going to snipe. I could coin, flare, and snipe next turn instead of just flaring now and sniping later and keeping the coin. If I do that, I may actually catch a Blood Imp and reveal it. It might be worth doing. So I'm just going to pass the turn, I think. Just in case he does have a turn 2 Blood Imp, then I can at least reveal it, and then there'll be less bollocks that I need to deal with later. Okay, there it is. So I'll probably be flaring next turn, although at the same time I could drop a snipe right now. Oh, actually, beg your pardon, I will be doing both, because that was the plan. I think we'll flare first, though, because that lets us see what the next card is, and then we can make changes to our plan if it is actually, if we draw something relevant. Like if we draw a, for example, an explosive trap just then, we would play that instead of the snipe. I think we're going to play the snipe and then be the receiver of about 5 damage next turn. I would imagine that he would swing with the Blood Imp. There is literally no reason to hold him back now that I have flared him. 5 damage a turn could be bad. We are approaching multi-shot range. Yeah, I mean, we'll take 5, then 5. It's going to be a bit of a beatdown. We're going to have to start using Arcane Shot and things like that to at least alleviate some of the pressure that's going to be put onto us. Against these aggressive decks, it's all about just living until you control the game. I mean, with these Warlocks, it can be a little bit tricky because they just continually throw cards at you endlessly onto the battlefield. And then they just life tap, they use their passive to just draw their cards right back. Actually, I should just comment on what just happened then. He attacked with the Leper Gnome, trying to suss out what trap I had there before he made a play. Which could have been interesting. I mean, if it was an explosive trap, which I am really desperately hoping to draw next, that would be the best possible card to get. He just would have lost the board state, and I would be in a really good position. Unfortunately, it was only a snipe. I think in this case we're going to play Snipe and Arcane Shot. And we're going to snipe... Sorry, beg your pardon. Arcane Shot one of these creatures. And we'll probably just get rid of... What are we going to get rid of? That's a good question. Probably just one of the ones that are doing the 2 damage. I realize I can get him at any time later on. He may even be taken out by the multi-shot. It's not really the toughness on these creatures, sorry, the health that's bugging me at the moment. It is the fact that they are doing 2 damage each. So we'll get rid of this one, and we'll get rid of his Death Rattle effect. Just so that there's no surprises later on. I'll put down the second snipe, so whatever he plays will get chewed up by that, and then I'll only be receiving 3 damage next turn, and hopefully we can sort of prepare a multi-shot and clean this garbage out. having an explosive trap would have been absolutely ideal. I mean, that just would have put us miles ahead. But, you know, you just can't always have what you want, even with the flare. So it's also a Murloc deck, as it turns out, which isn't too surprising. I would really like to play the Freezing Trap right now, especially if I could catch the Flame Imp and make him pay another 3 life for it. That would be great. But I don't know if that's going to alleviate as much damage as just plain multi-shotting. Removing 2 of these creatures right now will be really, really good. If I could remove both of these 2, that would probably be the best option here. I think that's the play. I mean, what can we do alternatively? Use Deadly Shot into that? No, thank you. Or we can use Freezing Trap and Steady Shot, and right now I don't think that's going to stop enough damage. He'll just come and kill us quite rapidly. Yes, and I hit the 2 that I wanted. The odds of that aren't necessarily good of that happening, so that's really, really good. Pretty happy with that result. This match is just all a matter of, I mean, he has all the moves to continually buff these creatures, so it's just a matter of whether or not we draw enough cards, or the right cards rather, that'll pull us out of this hole. Ugh, Deadly Shot. I think we can play an Abomination, which will... It might stop. I mean, he'll probably throw both creatures at it or use a conjunction of spells to remove it. A Soulfire will remove it. And kill one of his own creatures, but he still puts the pressure on. What would be better? Could we go Deadly Shot into Freezing Trap, perhaps? That may actually be a better choice. We will remove one of them at random. The other one will be snagged on a Freezing Trap. Next turn, we could use an Abomination, whilst he struggles to get board state back. Otherwise, Abomination now, risk him removing it. I actually think we're going to go to the Abomination, because when he does die, he will actually remove one of the creatures anyway, and then we can collect the final creature with either of these 2 options. So maybe that's the way. Let's just hope the big taunt creature is enough to stop this. Keep in mind, he does explode when he dies, which is pretty radical, so... I mean, at the moment, without any buffs, we will at the very least kill his Abusive Sergeant. I haven't actually got high hopes for our life total at the moment. It is really, really low, really, really early, and I am uncertain I can keep up with his card draw at this time. Especially when that does 2 damage to myself. I must say, I haven't had too many problems facing off against Warlocks with this deck. It seems as though Steady Shot and Life Tap both do a number on their health total, but he is coming at me so hard right now, I can't really get enough time to sort of, ease off, get him to ease off. So our options here are to double Deadly Shot, which seems like a pretty bad use of Deadly Shot, although I can't really foresee him using any big drops. I think he's just pretty much a rush deck, and he just wants to get us down. The alternative would to be to play a Freezing Trap and a Deadly Shot together, kill one and then catch the other. There's a chance that we might be able to snag him doing a Power Overwhelming on that one creature, and then we can get him 2 for 1. We can also chuck in a Tracking on that same turn. That's probably going to be better than double Deadly Shot right now. Alternatively, we can Sylvanas, which he will swiftly ignore, and then we will die. So that doesn't seem good. Let us... the problem with this is if I... all other Murlocs have that, and then he gets the charge Murloc, that could be particularly bad. I might just need to double Deadly Shot to ensure it. You know what? I think we're going to risk it. I think I'm so low here, we're going to have to Freezing Trap, Deadly Shot once, and Tracking. And I'm going to make a quick choice here, because I haven't got that much time. I got rid of the one that I wanted, though, so that's pretty good. I think we'll have to get rid of the... we're going to select Arcane Shot. Given that he plays so many cheap creatures, this may be the card that I need. I did rush that decision, so I'm hoping that it wasn't too bad of a choice. I'm hoping that's a creature that I can destroy at the absolute very least. Not as much when he does that, unfortunately. That is actually a really bad card for him to have back, especially now that he's played all these Murlocs. I am sort of in a pickle here. I am actually uncertain of the play here. Probably Arcane Shot this creature. Deadly Shot one of those creatures. And then what? 4, 5, 6, 7. Play a bow and then hit the last one. That's probably the best thing. This will just get ignored. I just don't see... I'm far too low for this to even be used right now. Let's go with that. If I Eagle Horn bow this guy first, then I can Deadly Shot the Imp. And that will ensure the order is done a little bit better. So we'll get rid of him. Ow, that hurts. I'm getting within Soulfire range. Do I Deadly Shot this creature? The thing is, if he draws a Power Overwhelming, I die, so I think I have to get rid of it. We'll get rid of that. We're really, really low. Like, what can we do other than fight desperately to clear the board? I don't really foresee us pulling ourselves out of this one. Especially when he's able to just draw endlessly into cards like that. I gotta say, this is the first time well, not the first time, at least the first time on camera, I think, that I've had been on the bad end of the Warlock aggro. This could be interesting. The problem is, he's only played a creature and kept 2 cards. So what are they? To me, they sound like buffs or removal cards. I mean, otherwise he just would have flooded the board right then. Then again, he did use all his mana, didn't he? That would have cost him 5 because of the freezing trap. So that's probably a good reason right there. At the same time, I don't want to leave the creature on the board. I almost think I have to hit it with this. That puts me to 2 health, which means I can die to drain life, which opens up 2 more outs for him. The thing is, if I don't kill it, he can kill me with a drain life anyway? Not quite. I think I have to kill it. Yeah, I'm gonna bonk it. I'm gonna use my charge on the bow, and I'm gonna flood the board. I'm just gonna flood it right now and just sort of... Look, this is my final play, my last stand. If he has a Soulfire or something like that, I was going to die anyway. He would have just attacked his Murloc straight into my life total and then Soulfired me, so I would be on 3 life at this point anyway. Looks like he's digging for probably what I assume to be a Soulfire or something horrible. Is that it? No. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. Well, he gets 1 more draw at the very least. And, you know, so do I. Misdirection might not be a bad idea. I wonder. Argent Commander is probably the choice here, though. Misdirection will save me, though, if he plays a haste creature. It can't be him. I'm too far behind. I've got no cards to combo with the Gadgetzan Auctioneer. It's got to be the Misdirection Trap, which will allow his Voidwalker to... Well, his Voidwalker is going to die into my Sylvanas this turn, but if he plays another creature, he will misdirect onto himself, or I can try to charge him down and go for gold. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to have to try to race him. This is going to be the absolute worst. Thing is, if he has one of these in his deck as well, misdirection might actually be good. So safety, the safe bet, or the aggression rush down. Oh man, what a terrible choice. I'm going to go the safe bet. This is probably the wrong choice. I'm going to put that down. I'm going to hit this. That is probably the wrong choice. See, I can still be killed by his burn spells like Soulfire and things like that, but I think I have turned off things like Argent Crusader as a viable win condition for him. Like, he may... So it's just, I've sort of eliminated some, but opened up others, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm really sort of like... Wow, that's just the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Literally the worst thing. Oh man, Wild Pyromancer. What I would have done to have one of you at the start of this game. I'm relatively certain, no matter how hard... Oh, hang on. If I trade Sylvanas with this fellow, or that fellow, steal another one. Wild Pyro... Can I could possibly, with the aid of a very lucky misdirection, actually pull out of this one. Quite possibly. It is a possibility. It's an ugly possibility.
Let none survive.
I'll take this. See what I get. Okay. I still think I die, though.
Do you like to play with fire?
Yeah, I mean... The only way I can get out of this is if he attacks with this first, this triggers, and he kills one of these. And then I will live by 1. What are the odds of this happening? It's the only way. Oh, and that more or less seals the deal, because that will do 2 damage when I die. No, he's attacked with the correct one first. Unfortunately, I think that means I can't beat him. There's the 2 damage. Yeah. Well, that's well played. Oh, he had a haste one anyway. There you go. Yeah, sometimes they're pretty fast. I mean, they'll get you, those warlocks. Warlocks? Murlocs? Yeah. Tough one. Let's just jump into round 2. I wouldn't actually mind playing against that sort of deck again. I generally have, well, at least I thought I had a pretty good matchup against it, but I mean, as always, you can't win every single game against every single matchup. You can only sort of influence it. But then again, maybe I need to review my deck. Maybe there's something fundamentally wrong that I would need to address. Look, I tell you what, if I pull up another Murloc deck or something like that and he absolutely annihilates me one more time, I'll have a close look at my deck. Since my deck tech video, I had the Doomsayer in there, and you know, working with some people on Twitter and in the comments section, yeah, it wasn't really working for me either. I did chuck it in, and it wasn't working quite as well as like a Pyromancer, sorry, a second Pyromancer or getting my Hunter's Mark back. I mean, that would have been so much better. So I'm actually running 2 Pyromancers this time, and I would have assumed that would have shored up my match against that sort of thing, but you know, can't have it all. So anyway, I'm going to ditch these 2. They seem pretty heavy going against a Paladin, and you don't really know what they're up to. Eaglehorn Bow, always a pleasure. You can stay. I mean, this could be a control sort of Paladin. It could be sort of like the Sword of Justice Paladin. We'll have to really sort of see what he's up to. What are you up to? Hello. Pass the turn. Pyromancer is always good to see in a hand against, you know, sort of a Paladin, because if he likes to use Reinforce a lot, and I'm assuming that he will be using it a lot if he just coined into Knife Juggler just then. Yeah, what to do? I think I mean, I could play him and then probably get killed. I could trade with the Knife Juggler. It's probably not a bad idea. He's going to be really valuable until a Sword of Justice is played, in which case he will then drop off. I think I should probably wait to see if I get like an Arcane Shot though, to use in conjunction with him, because just playing him on the field seems not great. I mean, I'll take 4 damage next turn, because he'll hit this, he'll throw a dagger and then hit me. Maybe, is it worth having him just out on the field, you know, as an obstacle here? Am I trying to get board control? I mean, next turn I can always use the bow on this guy anyway. Just depends. I think I'm just going to shoot him and we'll see what happens. I'm going to hold my Pyromancer. If I'm a little bit unsure, I'll typically take the safe route, I think. I think this deck lends to not taking those huge risks. I think like a more controlled approach seems to work better for me, at least. I was actually about to say if he plays Argent Protector, then playing the bow is probably a bad idea, but I decided to not say anything. And then here we are. I think I'll play Pyromancer into tracking, and then at least get rid of the shield and put him on 1. Is that worth doing? Probably is at this point. At the same time, we could, yeah, I think I'm going to be getting greedy. The longer I wait with Wild Pyromancer, the greedier I'm going to be, and the harder it's going to be for me. So I think I'm just going to play him. And track. Probably one of my favorite cards, tracking. Very good. Yeah, these are all nice. I think I'm going to take this one, though, given how aggressive he is coming on to me right now. More than likely, he will trade the Argent Protector onto my Pyromancer, not wanting to have him explode one more time, and then I'll have to probably smack the Daggerman. Oh, come on. As I was saying, I'm going to have to smack the Daggerman with my Eaglehorn Bow.
Reporting for duty.
I was sort of hoping to trade a creature for a creature there, but, you know, wishful thinking maybe. Yeah, I don't think there's too much of a competition here. Although a misdirection would probably clear out 2 creatures, but there's still a chance that it wouldn't happen, especially with the bubble here and the fact that he can target himself. I think I'm just going to get my bow out and I'm going to get rid of this nuisance. Sometimes I wonder if I should put an Earthen Ring Farseer or 2 in this deck. These rush decks that I'm facing one back to back right now, and highlighting it by the fact that I have to take self-damage with the bow, seem to be doing a number on my health total, and being able to have that extra little bit of survivability. Like if you play both Earthen Ring Farseers in a deck, that's an extra 6 life. Essentially you're running at 36 life. Which is really good. I mean, these aggressive decks are really designed to try to do 30 life in like, what, by turn 5 or 6, I mean, or 7 or 8, you know. And all that extra life that they need to do generally means that they have to dump their hand and then they have no more resources to actually, you know, finish you off. So maybe just that little bit of extra life would be valuable. Once again, I'm really hoping to get an explosive trap next. That would be particularly nice. I think otherwise we're just going to be playing the Abomination. Yeah, I mean, that's a little annoying. I won't lie. Oh, such a beatdown. Yeah, I think the only option I'm seeing right here, this has no effect that I, you know, care to indulge right now. Misdirection isn't going to really save me. Abomination seems a stronger play. Deadly Shot is like throwing a, you know, stone into a lake at the moment. Abomination it is. Question is, do I use my bow charge? I would think not at this stage. I'm hoping that this man will handle this entirely. There is a chance that I would like to take this shield down, but I don't really want to take 4 damage to do so. I'm sort of hoping that if he does remove this in some manner, what, Hammer of Justice does 3 damage? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he might actually have to use this creature and then kill everyone, which would be nice. So hopefully no surprises. We'll see what happens. Yes, yeah, he's choosing to keep up the Divine Shield, which doesn't surprise me at all. But again, that basically means we need to use our Deadly Shot. Oh, I think we just die, right? Is that 4 damage on the nose plus 4? Yeah. Well done. What's happening? And here I was saying that I thought I had a good aggro matchup. Very interesting. Okay. Alright. Maybe things aren't... Maybe I'm not feeling it tonight. Maybe that's it. I'll give it one more go. I'll give it one more go, and then maybe I'll have a quick look at the deck at the end of this video and see if there's any changes that I wish to make. Maybe talk through some of my thought processes, if any, that I wish to make. There's a good chance that, given how hard these guys are coming on, that another early taunt creature or an early board presence creature might actually be the way to go. Those Earthen Ring Farseers are actually sounding pretty good. Maybe Ascension Shield Master.
Shall be mine. Let the hunt begin.
Okay, another Warlock. Here's that rematch that I was asking for, I would imagine. Get rid of Sylvanas, just a little bit heavy going. These can at least cantrip into stuff. I'm going to keep those. Yeah, that seems reasonable. I can probably use this and this in turn 1. And then, you know, draw out what I need. I am operating on the assumption that he is another aggressive Warlock. I realize there are other builds of Warlock around. But, okay, that doesn't tell me a lot. I mean, it would suggest that he's an aggressive Warlock, but, you know, it is a strong creature. It appears in a lot of different decks. I'm going to Flare first and then Tracking, and I'm going to do it all in this turn. I'm not going to wait to reveal a Blood Imp. That could have possibly been a mistake. I don't think I wasted any time on my mana in my first game, but we're going to use it now. And we're going to use this one first because I want to get a better picture of what my hand looks like before I use Tracking. So, away we go. Fireworks. What do I get? Beautiful. Yeah, well, that'll definitely be going down next turn. and we'll have a look here. The Wild Pyromancer is looking pretty good at the moment. Well, actually, I'm holding a Wild Pyromancer, so I may not actually need that. I could go the misdirection. The additional trap might be good with my bow. I'm going to take that. I think Ragnaros, we can't even consider him at the moment. I realize I'm only really running one high-end big drop, but I should be able to whittle him down using his own life tap ability plus my steady shot. Okay, that seems like a very aggressive opening, if ever I've seen one, so let's just assume that he's aggressive. I think it's a good assumption. Yeah, so we're going to play Explosive Trap right now, because that would be the only option, right? Right. And pass the turn. I mean, if we're very lucky, if he's very zealous, he will play another creature before attacking, but more than likely he will attack with the Imp first. This is not surprising. I feel like we've got good value there. I mean, his annoying Priestess did give him that extra health point that lets him live right there, which is very frustrating, but and especially now that he can boost it up with the Blood Imp, that's just like, that's worked out really well for him, so good on him. I am 1 mana short of doing a Pyromancer Misdirection 1 damage combo. Unfortunately, that's not going to kill this creature anyway, but I think I'm just going to hit him with my bow. I think, yeah, that's got to go before he starts buffing it and before it gets, like, really, really terrible. It's unusual for them to, early stages in the game, use Blood Imp to attack me. Usually they'll reveal the Blood Imps and buff them with whatever, the, you know, Demon Fires and what have you. Power Overwhelmings, usually only to finish you. He's pretty much happy to sit there the whole game and, you know, look at me, funny. See what we get. A multi-shot could be a good option next turn, depending what he plays, but I do require him to play another creature, which I don't think is going to be too hard for him, given... well, maybe not this turn, maybe next turn. I mean, that's given me a little bit of reprieve, you know. I actually do sort of think I'm still going to use my Pyromancer Misdirection combo. Taking him out is just going to be the best thing I can do right now, I think. Plus it primes my trap, which is pretty good, so we're going to do that. Get rid of that. And we're not going to swing, we're going to keep the last charge on our bow. We will try to charge it up and use it as a source of damage to win this game. But at the same time, we want to keep it as an emergency. Okay, so now is probably an emergency because double... Whoa. 9 damage on the board like that. We probably should just get rid of one of them. Oh, the daggers! Then again, maybe not. We can use multi-shot, I think is the best choice. What's the alternative? The alternative is Freezing Trap and Big Game. No. Ugh. Terrible. We're gonna multi-shot. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to use my last charge. I can't let him, because if I don't, right, if I don't do it, he plays a bunch of creatures, I get daggers in my eyeballs, and then he swings for another 3. So I'm taking more damage than I need to. Yes, I can get him on a Freezing Trap next turn, but I might catch something else on a Freezing Trap next turn, and that's less good. Next turn, I get access to my Argent Commander, so I can remove whatever he puts down. I'm gonna bonk it. I gotta get rid of it. It's gonna do more damage if I leave it there. If he puts a Power Overwhelming on that and then double Soulfires me, I think I just die, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, I would straight up die if he had that in his hand. Obviously, he has Murlocs in his hand, but, gosh, wow. Is this the same bloke? I mean, there's a lot of this happening tonight. There's the Soulfire I was telling you about. It wasn't a double Soulfire, but it was still a thing. Well, well, well. What do we do here? So my options. My options are to double Freezing Trap. Double Freezing Trap. Yeah, it gives me 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, double Freezing Trap doesn't do a lot for me. Especially if he leads with these 2 creatures. Because then he just plays them again, they get bigger and I explode. I think I need to play this, killing this creature, and then take 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. plus whatever bonuses he gives and any charge creatures that he has. Yeah, I think we're that desperate. I think I need to actually remove this creature. Because there's no guarantee if I play both of these that he will lead with these two creatures. If one of these was a explosive trap, I think we'd be alright, but it is not as an explosive trap. I'm gonna go with this. This feels good, and I'm going to take that away from him. And I'm gonna cross my fingers right now and hope that I don't get beaten to death by Murlocs again. I'm on 7 damage on the board that he has. 8, 9, 10. No, that's it. That's well enough. I think he's oh, misdirection. I did forget about that. Save me, misdirection. No, not him. Anyone else. Would have been funny if he at least attacked one of his other attacking creatures. Endless cards. I get one more turn.
That was a mistake.
That was a mistake, was it? Oh, what can I possibly do that will pull me out of this? I am desperately wanting to see maybe some sort of sweeper come out of this. I'm going to have to track and look for an answer because I don't see the other cards in my hand being an answer. I need a taunt creature. I'm going to take the arcane shot. And I think I straight up lose. Because I can't even play both of these. I was saying that I could play them both before, and that is incorrect. I can only play one. Well played, sir. You have convinced me to go and reanalyze this deck. Maybe it's just not my night tonight. Well, let's not keep everyone waiting. Let's just go down in a blaze of glory.
I've got the beast in my sight.
And you never know, maybe he'll DC and then I'll claim my sneaky win and run like a thief. These Warlock ones in particular these Warlock ones with their life tap ability, you know, they can come at you pretty hard. I mean, I was saying before I haven't had too much difficulty with Warlocks, and that has been true. I mean, up until tonight maybe. Just these two abilities working in conjunction with each other is usually enough damage just to kill your opponent. I think the idea, though, is you must live long enough for that to happen. And I haven't been doing that so well. Anyway, I'm going to head over to my deck screen. It would actually be pretty nice if they had a button that, you know, on this screen that allowed me to shortcut to, you know, deck build or something like that instead of having to fly through all these menus, but hey, that's just me. What can I possibly do to stop me from dying? I think, in that case, one of the first luxuries to go, perhaps we could lower our curve a little bit. So taking out some heavy hitters. I could remove some Argent Commanders, but they're generally pretty good as far as all-stars go. Just generally all-around good guys. Maybe the Auctioneer, the card draw is good for a lot of matchups, but considering that I just played 3 aggressive matchups just then, we're going to cut him. And I mean, even Big Game Hunter could probably go for something else. He does really shore up my Druid match, though, so possibly Big Game Hunter can go right now. Let's just have a look what's available to us. I could probably get a Hunter's Mark. That's only so I can combo with Wild Pyromancer, not so much that I can... You know, it's a free spell that will trigger Wild Pyromancer 1 turn earlier. So it's actually not a bad idea. It's also really good for bringing down those humongous creatures, because, you know, it does reduce it to 1, and then Wild Pyromancer will kill it, so that's pretty good. But the fact that it's a 0 cost allows me to do like a turn 2 Wild Pyromancer explosion with this, without the aid of a coin, which is good. You can do it before all the Blood Imps come out and ruin your day. The alternative is we could go Animal Companion. I was running 2 of these before. I cut it to 1, then I cut it to none. I really love it when I pull out Misha the Bear, and I love it when I pull out Huffer the Boar, and I hate it when I bring out Leok. There's just not enough beasts in this deck to make Leok any good. So really, it's a good costing card for what you get, but 1 out of 3 times I get something I just don't want. But it might be worth bringing back for that 1 in 3 chance that I get that taunt creature. Explosive shot. Ooh, that's actually a spicy meatball, and maybe even kill command. I mean, if I could get to 5 mana, I could pretty much do a board wipe, couldn't I? That's actually reasonable. That's a reasonable option right now. Given that I am maxed out on explosive traps and where is he? Not deadly shots, multi shots and wild pyromancers. Maybe the explosive shot is sort of like my 7th, you know, AOE removal spell. It's not a bad idea. That's my favorite choice at the moment. Let's just have a quick look. I mean, what else can we possibly do? Doomsayer wasn't really working out for me. We could use... There was one other card I just wanted to have a quick look at. Earthen Ring Farseer might actually be a reasonable choice. Given that extra health and board state, and so you can trade off with another creature, might not actually be a bad idea. I'm gonna go the explosive shot. We'll give the explosive shot a try. It might be a little bit expensive. I've turned a 5-costing Gadgetzan Auctioneer into a 5-costing explosive shot, and hopefully that'll do a little bit better for me in the future. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. My name is Super Chicken. I'll see you next time.